Aloha, welcome to Java. This is Wednesday, January 10th, 2024. We've got quite a bit to go over in the markets and then also some information for home sales today. So we're currently at our risk indicator, still staying pretty stable at 254 right now in the high area, but hasn't moved a tremendous amount. So yesterday the market did show a bit of weakness, but still kind of holding ground. I expect it to kind of stay similar today, but we've got a couple of things with the 10-year note sale going on today. So we'll go over that as well. The dollar relative strength as well as the 10-year yield at the moment, giving up some gains. So the 10 years below the 4%, and that is bullish for stocks. So right now, the sentiment is that buy the dip, kind of cautious optimism, still looking forward to the Federal Reserve cuts, thinking that things were on sale and the market is going to continue, which indeed it will for some time, but there is a larger dip ahead. So looking into what we've got today for the calendar, we've got basically crude oil inventories. Then 1 o'clock is that 10-year note auction. So this is huge because the 10-year yield is, we go over this every morning, is one of the largest debt market indicators that we look to, not just us, but all of the investors out there to see the strength and health of not just the debt market, but that affects the stock market. So after that, we get the spoken manipulation from a couple of Fed members. We've got Williams coming out to speak at 3:15. But we've also got home earnings coming out from KBH later. So we had a couple of things that kind of tipped the hand. There was a hack on the X account, which was formerly Twitter, of the SEC. So I'm subscribed to the SEC. We saw when this came out. So basically, someone had gotten into their account and then announced that the Bitcoin ETF had been approved. That created a spike in Bitcoin price, but then it quickly recovered. So I think that's a good window into what we can expect when that ETF does get approved. I do expect it to get approved. Maybe not Friday. I don't think they'll push it off, so probably still Friday. But I think it's going to, as I said before, be a sell the news event. So once it happens, the price will drop for a bit before it recovers. And I know a lot of people don't like cryptocurrencies, but it's beginning to catch on and affect other markets around it. So, on to our real economy news. We've got nearly 1 in 4 United States renters. Now they're not even just giving up on purchasing a home, but they can't afford their rent. So, this was a report, a study that was done by Credit Karma, and they're saying about 24% are having what they're calling rent affordability issues. They can't pay the rent, so they're starting to get behind. They either move in with their parents, move in with multiple roommates, or they're not going to make it. So we're getting the truth out of when they were saying there were such incredible Christmas sales going on. In the UK, they are showing that retail sales actually took a nosedive. So the comparison is that last year, basically, it grew 7%. This year was just 1.7%. But the really telling thing is what they were purchasing. So they did not purchase furniture, housing goods, clothing, jewelry, or technology. They avoided that. In fact, most of it was food items. So that is an indicator of just the incredible weakness going on. So with that also, we watch the unemployment. So we've got BlackRock that has just announced that they're cutting 600 jobs, and BlackRock is a behemoth. So Larry Fink at it again. Amazon's Twitch will be laying off 35% of their workforce. So they had just cut not long ago their Alexa force because they're moving it to AI. Now they are cutting their Twitch workforce. We also had in other news that there are other layoffs that are going on. So in general, this is a report that was done on the global unemployment. Their words seen rising modestly in 2024. So the UN labor body, they also just came out with basically they're hand in hand with the World Bank. And the World Bank yesterday came out saying that they're seeing cracks in the economies as well. Well, we already knew that. And this is not going to rise modestly, in my opinion. It will for a while, perhaps into summer. I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know. But seeing how things have gone in the past, if they don't turn this, I expect that the unemployment rate will at some time double what it is right now, at least, and probably begin that slide third quarter of this year. We'll see what happens. I could be wrong on that, but that's just what I think is going to happen. So we've been having a lot of waves of protests going on. This is another wave of protests going through Germany. This time it's also the train drivers, so they're bringing down their transport sector. And it's basically a wage strike. We just also had stories from them in their agricultural sector. They had the farmers were striking against uh, basically a lot of things going on there. So their economy is just very weak. Germany having issues with the manufacturing sector. They're also laying off. So overall, the world economy is not doing so well, unless, of course, you're in Russia. They seem to be catching a boom off of this, as well as Iran, because the United States has sanctioned them. So they're actually doing pretty well. So as I was saying, KBH Homes reports earnings today. So they're a obviously home company for new sales. So this will be interesting. This report lags. So I don't think they're going to have a great earnings report today, but they're also starting more into larger projects. But I want to show, because someone had brought this up prior, mortgage applications, and this is the true story of what's going on. So this is over 1 year period, the 30-year fixed, basically mortgage rate. So we've got the mortgage rate on this side. And then over time period for this past year, we can see that they have declined rapidly. But the importance is just like the spending is going down, or if the spending is continuing, what they're buying. So people are purchasing food. And with the mortgages, basically what I'm getting at is if you look, purchases are down year over year, negative 18.5%. So, not purchasing with their mortgages. Refinance rates, on the other hand, are 17.82% up. So, people are trying to refinance since these rates have come back, and they're basically using their homes like bank accounts again, just like they did back in 2004, 2006, to where they are pulling as much money as they possibly can out of their house. And they don't really care about the rates as long as they can get the loans. That's another danger signal. And this is primarily in the United States. However, the UK is also seeing something similar going on. So, with that, I also wanted to bring up one other story. It's all over. There was in Ecuador, they had taken over a radio station, TV station, live with a crime that's going on there, trying to kind of post themselves getting out there. Terrorism is becoming the fashionable thing to do, I suppose. But what I want to put out there is with the porous borders of the United States, as well as other countries, that a lot of these migrants have come in and not been vetted, meaning they don't know who they are and they're just being kind of let go into the country. So be careful. And I just want to say, be aware of that. So in the meantime, we'll live, trade, and think outside of their system, stack real assets. So hopefully, if you haven't yet, you do indeed like something from this video. And until I see you again, my friends, stay free.